What people really earn in London. Shocking 2025 cost of living. Let's have a look.
Finding out what people really spend, what it costs to live here, and whether anyone can actually save in the city. Stick around because the numbers just might shock you. Today we're here with...
Name's Ruben.
Nice to meet you, Ruben.
Man like
How old are
Ruben.
you?
I'm 25 years old,
Lovely. And what do you do for a living?
so I do sales.
Did I drop it again? I feel like I'm always dropping it. Dropping it, and when I say dropping it, I mean dropping my mind, fuck's sake.
Nice. What kind of sales?
So it's more like SaaS sales.
Oh, software as a service.
Okay.
Lovely. I used to do that myself. If I may ask, what's your yearly salary?
I'm not gonna give the actual amount.
Ballpark figure?
We've got depending on target, right? So you're
Okay.
looking between
An incentive
45
system.
and 90, around that range. So it's a big variation.
Would you say that your salary is comfortable or enough for you to live in London?
No,
Today
No.
we're with...
Chris,
No.
Nice to meet you, Chris. How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
57.
Oh, nice. You don't look it. What do you do for a living?
In Liverpool
I'm
Street.
director of an environmental company.
Brilliant. And if you don't mind me
Director of
asking, how
environmental
much do you earn in a
company.
year?
6 figures.
Ballpark number?
Okay.
Closer to 100 and a million.
There, closer to 100 than a million. Is that enough
Okay.
to live in London comfortably?
Yeah, I think you can. I think you can find ways to, survive for a while.
So today we're here with...
Brooke,
Nice to meet you, Brooke. How old are you?
19.
Brooke doesn't really want to be there. Brooke's bored on her lunch break. She thought, fuck it, I'll speak to him, fuck it.
And what do you do for a living?
I work in a bar.
And roughly, what would you say you earn in a year?
Not enough.
Nah.
20? No, less than that. Probably like 15k a year.
And would you say
Crazy,
that's enough
innit?
to live in London comfortably?
No.
No
Today I'm here
fucking
with-
way.
Jamie,
Alex,
Lovely. And how old are you guys?
23.
19.
And what do you guys do for a living?
Hospitality workers.
Same.
Lovely. And what would you guys say that you earn on a yearly basis?
Not enough. Not enough.
Yeah,
Probably-
everyone's struggling in it.
Probably 15 to 20.
Yeah.
Say the same?
Yeah.
And would you guys say that that's enough to live in London?
No.
Nah.
Today we're here with...
Jack,
Nice to meet you, Jack.
No,
How old are
like
you?
Jack.
I'm 33.
Lovely. And what do you do for a living?
I'm a finance consultant.
Oh, lovely. We're both in finance. Ain't that fun? And roughly, what would you say you earn yearly?
I'm self-employed, so
Man's beard is shimmering. His beard is his whole face is shimmering. He's sweating, isn't he?
it's a bit, I'd say between 120 and 180.
And would you say
Okay.
that that's enough to live in London comfortably?
Yeah, I'd say so. Obviously, prior to that, I was employed on a lot less and it was a lot tougher. But 120 grand is plenty to live anywhere, really.
In your opinion, what would you say someone has to earn as a minimum to live comfortably in London?
I'd say probably 100k.
Any particular
Yeah.
reason for that particular number?
Yeah, it's about right.
Housing costs and, if you want to do nice things, go out and about, eat out, stuff like that. That's a reasonable number.
And what would you say
Yeah.
is the right salary, or as
you need 6 figures. You need 6 figures to live in London comfortably, especially with a family. If you're living on your own, then maybe that salary could
less.
suffice. But otherwise, you're needing 6 figures for sure.
what are the expenses that
It's
make
expensive.
you feel that 6 figures is the minimum that you need just to
Very
be comfortable?
expensive.
If we do the maths right, let's say we've got a family of 4, rent, all of that good stuff, that's gonna cost you 1.5, 2k. From there, you've got your groceries, you've got expenses, you've got your kids, you've got your wife, got to do something on the weekend, you go on a holiday a couple of times a year. With all of that added, you've not got much left. So that's why a lot of people are moving out of London, then commuting in, much like myself. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's the easiest way to do it. London's too expensive, man. Everything's inflated. It's good to work in, don't get me wrong, but even then, people are working remote. So yeah, I think
Yeah.
London living is a struggle. I mean, if you want to enjoy yourself, go ahead. But in terms of investment, no way.
So the value for money is
Yeah.
not there.
No,
No.
I don't think so anyway. Unless someone can tell me otherwise, or someone owns a property around here and they're getting good rent and they can use that, no problem. But most
Yeah.
people are, renters in their 20s and 30s trying to enjoy life. That's the struggle.
And
Yeah,
what would you
it's
say
hard.
is enough to live in London comfortably?
At least like 30 grand a year.
30 grand?
Even that is rough, man. Even 30k is tough, innit? Even that is like breadline.
How come?
Because
It's
the
double
prices
what
just
she
keep going
gets.
up.
It's because it's double what she gets.
And like, especially people my age, like no one can find housing. Even I live like just on the outskirts, like Romford. And even then, like a 1-bedroom flat is like 2 grand a month.
Wow. So do you currently live at home with family?
Yeah.
And what does the bulk of your expenses go on now that you live at home with family?
Netflix
So
and all of
I
that.
do pay rent to my mum. I pay my phone bill, gym membership, other subscriptions.
Stuff like that.
But I'm
But she's very young though. She's like 19-year-old. She's got time and all of that. She can devise a plan, save while she's at the parents. Yeah, she's got time.
not earning nearly enough to even like, I want to start driving, can't afford a car. It's impossible.
Do you think that the value exchange of what it costs to live in London and what you get from living in London is worth it?
Not at the minute, no.
Of course not.
No, at the minute, no, at the
Getting
minute. What would you
booked.
say is the minimum someone needs to earn to live comfortably? Obviously, you're on between 120 and 180, but for everyone else, or for anyone else, what would you say is the actual minimum?
Central London or Greater London?
Both. We'll do both.
Central London, let's say comfortably, you need a household income of say 80 to 110 to live comfortably
Yeah.
in Central London. Greater London, you probably get away with a household income of 75 to 90, realistically.
It's probably
And then it
about
ups if
right.
you
And if we're talking about comfort, yeah.
have kids and what your aspirations are, if you want to go on holiday, of course, and in the lifestyle you want to live. But yeah, I think that's a fair to live comfortably in London or Greater London. That's probably where I put it.
And
Yeah.
what would you say is enough to someone should earn if they want to comfortably live in London?
Probably double that.
Yeah, I agree.
And what would you say is essentially the main reason why, most people don't earn enough, or what makes London so expensive?
Prices generally are expensive, but companies don't often pay enough, so that doesn't help either.
Yeah, employees don't get paid enough and prices are always going up, but wages
Yeah,
aren't.
it don't make sense, innit? So with inflation, you got to keep it up with wages. Otherwise, you're going to get a society that's fucking trapped, innit? You're going to get a people that are hopeless, that don't, have no dream of even owning a home here in London. It's like, fuck that, you're impossible. How are you going to be able to do it? People have given up. So that's what's happened. It's because it hasn't kept up. Everything keeps going up, but the wages are staying the same. If in some places they're even going down. If it does go up, it's up by 5p, 10p. It's like it's a piss take. So obviously people want more to be able to at least be able to keep up. Now it's just like prices going up, wages staying the same, everything going up, everything electric, everything going up. You're just paying, and then, can't put aside for nothing. It's really tough.
In your opinion, who's
just
at
all
fault,
outgoing.
or who deserves the blame when it comes to people not earning enough? Because you hear it all the time, right? Entrepreneurs will say, well, you just have to do what you have to do, and then a lot of civilians will say, oh, it's the government's fault why I don't earn enough. What do you say?
I think it's a bit of everything. I think it's got
Yeah.
to come from within you. You've got to put yourself out.
Yeah, there's got to be a drive. Obviously, the person's got to wanna acquire that.
Out there. You've got to take some risks.
Yeah, I
You've
agree.
got to be prepared to fail as well. If you just keep doing that, then
Yeah.
you'll find the thing that you're good at. If you don't put
That's right. Yeah.
yourself out there, then it's not, like
You
I said,
won't
it's
know.
just not going to come to you. You have
Yeah,
to put
that's
yourself in
right.
the position to be able to try new
To
things.
get it.
Really.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, because most people that I speak to always say the value for money isn't in London, why does everyone live in London then?
The reason why people live in London is because they're trying to chase the high or chase the hype or the trend or
Yeah.
whatever. So if you look at
Yeah,
someone
he's
in
right.
their 20s, they see all their colleagues graduate
It's like London. It's a status thing. Yeah, I was born in this shit, so fucking hell.
away from uni, they want to
It's
work
different.
in London, they want to go for some pints after with the boys or the girls or
Yeah, paying 20 quid a pint and all that. Yeah.
whatever. So everyone
Good
wants to
luck to
fit
'em.
into that. So that's what drags people into London. Then a
Yeah.
couple of years in, I think people realise, oh shit,
I'm
it costs
getting
a lot to live
shafted.
there. So
Yeah.
you've got to start thinking quite strategically.
What would be one piece of advice you'd give to your 18-year-old self that wants to make sure that, look, by the time I'm 30, I want to be able to earn enough so I can comfortably live in London?
Buy a property sooner, 100%. That'd be the first thing I'd do, is just buy a property day one. Rather than wait until you've missed the boat, I'd buy a property straight away.
Why would you say that?
Mainly because I consult in property finance, so I've seen people that have built
That's
wealth
his
over the
field.
last 30 years, and now they're sitting on the beach somewhere where I'm doing all their deals and I'm sitting in an office. So yeah, it's definitely the way out. It's a pension pot, right? Once you've got that in place, you're set really.
Brilliant. Well, thank you for your advice, and I appreciate your time. And last question. If you were speaking to your 18-year-old self right now, and that person wanted a piece of advice on how to make sure they earn enough to live comfortably in London as quickly as possible, what would that piece of advice be?
Just stick in education, learn a skill, either potentially a trade or a specialism, and then just keep following it.
And what's one maybe
Yeah.
piece of advice that you'd give to someone that, wants to, maybe they're 18 now and they're thinking, right, so what should I do? What can I do to actually earn enough and live in London at the same time?
Find somewhere cheap to begin with and save up as much as you can, and then you can always find somewhere better after that.
I don't know, because that's the position I'm in myself.
Is actually there.
That's also a good answer. Well, fair enough. And if you had one piece of advice for an 18-year-old
His younger self will be 12.
that wants to get ahead of the curve now and earn six figures by 25, 30, what
Yeah.
piece of advice would you give to that individual?
If you want to make money quickly, go into sales, learn your trade.
Sales.
From 18, you don't need university. At the same time, I wouldn't encourage uni unless you're a doctor, dentist, whatever, then fine. If not, then learn a trade, electrician, plumber, salesperson, marketer, whatever, and just get really good at it, stick to it. And then by
Yeah.
the time you're 25-ish, you probably be on close to six figures if you...
I think what that old guy said as well is good. Is get yourself in a position to try new things, because then that way you're going to discover what you really love. You know what I mean? Just try new, because you don't really know until you try. And then when you try, you discover that this is actually good and you're actually good at it as well. That's the key. Put yourself in positions where you can try new things, sometimes even in positions of uncomfort where it's uncomfortable at first. That's cool. That's all right. That's the growth process. So yeah, I would encourage that.
Work hard.
Brilliant advice. Well, appreciate it. Thanks for the
And the uni thing this young guy said as well. Uni is a scam.
time. No problem.
In
If
my
you can remember,
opinion.
because I know, obviously, with all the experiences you've had in life, was there any one piece of advice or one moment or anything that you can say, do you know what, it was this particular moment or this particular advice that I heard that really changed the game for me, and that's where I can really say that's what, changed everything and made me start doing the right things in order to be successful now.
Probably not one thing, but one thing that always sticks in my mind is that if you see successful people, it's very rare that yesterday they were unsuccessful, if you know what I mean. So everyone will have been on a journey to get where they're at, and you only see the top little bit of that. So I always picture it like an iceberg. The iceberg is like 5 times bigger under the sea, and that's all the experience, all the things that you've been through, all of the training that you've done, all of the situations that you've been in, all the mistakes you've made. All of those things are under the surface, but people only see, oh, this guy's doing okay. Everyone
That's right. He's 100% spot on with that.
just needs to concentrate on just doing the best they can, really, in their own circumstance.
Brilliant. Well, that's
Yeah.
fantastic advice. Thank you so much for your time again, Chris. I really appreciate it. So, guys, if you want to learn how
That
to
was
keep
great.
more of your money in London, I've put together a complete money program that absolutely breaks this down bit by bit. All you have to do to get access is comment the word London below.
That's cool. That's nice. Good channel, good geezer, and good questions. Interesting conversation and interesting discourse. I like it.